Hello, everybody. Welcome to CLIL NetLE podcast on the report of Working Group 2. Here with me today is the head of Working Group 2, Francisco Lorenzo, who's a professor at the Department of Philology and Translation at Universidad Pablo de Olavide in Seville, Spain, and vice leader of CLIL NetLE Working Group 2, Lidia Cvikic, who's a full professor at the University of Zagreb, Croatia, at the Faculty of Education. And my name is Maria Bakti, a Science Communication Coordinator of CLIL NetLE. And here with us today is Onorina Botezat, who's the Vice Science Communication Coordinator. As a background information, Working Group 2 of CLIL NetLE has just completed a report for assessing disciplinary literacy using the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages Descriptors. And the report covers the subjects history, mathematics, and science, and the language levels B1 and B2. This report is I think, a major achievement of the action. It is rich in examples, and I think it's a valuable contribution for teachers who teach their subjects through a foreign language. And my first question is this: what was the rationale for the report? What was the background to the report?
Well, I would say that mostly the reason is that it touches the very heart of the project. If the project is about disciplinary literacies, you need to measure one way or another that how well students can cover all those competence levels, right? When talking about mathematics, about history, about science. So it is some sort of task that needed to be done, and certainly the right place was this CLIL NetLE project because it is about disciplinary literacies. Also, this has been a task pending for a long time. The Council of Europe started some research in the beginning of the century, of the 21st century, when once the Common European Framework of Reference started to be used as a major tool in language assessment, while the Council of Europe thought they needed to take one step further and measure those competence levels in those areas, in school areas, because mostly it is in school where language deficits happen and are more important in the sense of having very serious consequences for the future of people, right? So that was a project that had been going on was in the mind of the European institution for some time, but had been never accomplished. So we thought that CLIL NetLE project was the perfect venue for that, the perfect place for that.
And thank you. And Fran, you have already touched upon my second question. In what ways is your report different from the documents that were put together by the European Center for Modern Languages of the Council of Europe? Because you've mentioned there have been attempts. What ways is your report more or different?
Well, there were like two major previous movements. The first one was by the Language Policy Division in Strasbourg of the Council of Europe, and there were two major figures there. One is Jean-Claude Béagot from the Université La Sorbonne in Paris, in France, and I actually had him as a guest in my home university, and we published something together in the European Journal of Applied Linguistics, and he in a way set the basis of that study. Now there was a second attempt in the European Center of Modern Languages in Austria, in Graz, and it is a very interesting study by Moe. She's a Norwegian scholar, and other peers, right, and other scholars who apparently came together in Graz and developed a useful document on how the European framework, the Common European Framework of References, could, in a way, illuminate language assessment in history and mathematics, right? Our work is different in the sense that, and I will be very brief because it could take us quite a long time, but I will be very brief. We attempt to delineate some sort of common thread all over this school experience, starting with content, yeah, and coming to an end with language, yeah. And there are some middle steps in the sense of language descriptors at B1 and B2 level, curriculum links, and other similar aspects, right? And the end result is a proper integration in a grid, in a in a graphic. Yeah, you have a proper integration of content and language, right?
Thank you very much. And maybe could you say a few more words about the structure of the report? Francisco has already touched upon this, but just for those who are not familiar with the report, so what is the structure of the report?
The structure of the report is that the report starts with, of course, the theoretical background and the introduction to the notion of disciplinary literacy and the background that from the previous work that has been done within this topic that Fran just have mentioned. And then we give the framework with the descriptors for 3 disciplines, and the disciplines are mathematics, science, and history. And the framework or the grid starts always from the cognitive discourse functions, which are crucial in basically shaping, linguistically shaping the knowledge for every of the 3 disciplines. Then we give the descriptors at 2 levels, B1 and B2, across these 3 disciplines, following by learning situation in which the teachers can use these cognitive discourse functions, or in which learning situations they are expected to be expressed by the students. We also give a couple of examples from the students' narratives or students' written work. Also, there is a link to curricula from different countries. And as well, the grid ends with key language, and these are the structures that cover lexicon and grammar, but also some important features of the discourse at B1 and B2 level.
Thank you very much. And for questions 4 to 6, I will give the floor to Onorina.
Thank you. We should also say, for those who will be listening to this, that the report is published on our website and it is linked to University of Vienna repository. So the next question will be, how does it fit into the overall framework of CLIL NetLE?
Of course, all the parts of all the working groups in the project are all the outputs of all the working groups are connected, and we are all dealing with the same topic. But what refers to the to our report, maybe the most connected is with the work, with the results of the work group 2, who are exploring curricula of these 3 disciplines in different countries, but also the textbooks for science, math, and history, and how the cognitive discourse functions are represented in curricula and in textbooks. So with our grid, our descriptors give more instrument to explore in more depth both the textbooks, but also the students' expressions, so the students' written and oral texts.
And now that the report is done and it is published, what are the next steps ahead for Working Group 2?
Well, it is still a report in the making. I mean, it is extremely ambitious as a project, right? Because it is identifying competence levels for three subjects: mathematics, history, and science, and making it a very useful tool, or potentially a useful tool in all different contexts of multilingual education. So, I mean, there are many next steps, starting with the descriptors. I mean, those descriptors are the first attempt in providing a descriptor. Basically, our focus was this can be done. We can provide, and we need, a descriptor which brings together mathematical competence and language competence as a whole unit, as a unique sort of thing, as part of two sides of the same coin, right? But now, what will have to be done in future is to put that to the test, right? And to see how valid they are empirically. And that will be a work for many, many people to do in the following, I would say, years, decades, I don't know. And actually, if you actually want to streamline them and to make them perfect as a language descriptor can be, it will take a lot of empirical work, which will go well beyond CLIL NetLE as a project, yeah. But I think this is not the original step. I just wanted to make that clear. Something was done more than 15 years ago by the Council of Europe, not the second step, but I think a major next step. Yeah.
So it is a work in progress, and you were talking about validating it. Do you have any feedback by now? Do you know how these results of Working Group 2 report may be used in practice by practicing teachers?
What we have so far is a lot of reactions, right, from audiences, right? I know that many Working Group 2 members are all around, presenting the results, presenting the structure, presenting the document. And what audiences say is that, oh, this is something useful, this is a real tool. It may be more or less sort of precise as a tool, but this is something that we need, right? So far, the feedback is positive. Yeah, that's my feeling. Yeah, that's how I feel. I don't know if Lydia, I'm sure she will have some more reactions about it.
Yeah, please.
Francisco is completely right. So we got a lot of reactions, but what is also one of the next steps is not just to validate empirically that the framework works and that the descriptors are good or useful or can be used, but also to do a lot of work with teachers and see how teachers can use our grid, our framework, to be useful in their everyday practice, how this can be the instrument that facilitates teaching, or or in what way this framework can be used in CLIL classrooms, because we should not forget that CLIL is basically in the court of our project.
And are you planning to extend the report to other languages? Other language level or skills? Is there any follow-up?
Yeah, that would be a necessary step, because so far the document only covers writing as a skill, right? We thought that writing is the most, I mean, a very academic skills. Obviously, all skills are academic, but can be in a way operated at an academic level. But writing is certainly a very scholarly, let's put it this way, right, skill. And so that would need to be expanded over to other skills like speaking, listening, well, and all skills, right?
Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of this discussion. And before we say goodbye, my question is whether you have any closing remarks related to CLIL NetLE Working Group 2 report on assessing disciplinary literacies with the help of CEFR descriptors.
Well, we would just like to thank you for your interest in our work, and also we are looking forward to all the reactions and all your opinion or comments that can improve our work.
Yeah, and also many thanks, especially to the chair, Julia Hutner, for bringing us together. This is an unbelievable project and making us, work together and share our worries, concerns, and work. That's incredible experience.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the next steps with the project. Thank you very much.
Thank you.